The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
WDC is now on your radio. Coming live from the Bay, yeah, that way. They talk sports all day, LA. Dropping knowledge, high school, college, trying to score play by play. NFL, NBA, NHL, that's right, you name it. They gon' bring it to you live. Talking sports and entertainment. From the famous and the famous. You name it, cover all sports. From the football.
Good evening, welcome to Sports Selective TV. I'm your host and moderator, Farron, aka WDC. I just heard a phone. Thank you for listening in. As always, we have a very spectacular, important show for you right here on Morris Media Live on Mondays at 5 o'clock. Make sure you check our social media at Sports Selective Media on Facebook and Instagram. What can I tell you? If you saw the social media this weekend, you see America's right here.
Yes,
you
sir.
saw that
yes, sir. Yes,
from
sir.
the Nike 3-on-3 downtown LA this year. Last year, y'all won the chip.
Yes, sir. And the year before.
And the year before, so they was going for their three-peat. And this year, we'll talk about that later. Fredo.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, that's kind of.
But it was a great entertainment. Great guys, a group of guys. I mean, men, women, youth out there balling, chasing that hoop dream, chasing that chip for the Nike 3-on-3. We're going to let you introduce yourself, man, and then we'll pass it around. And
yes, sir. My name is Americus Jones from the commission organizer of the LABC League. Yeah, I'm glad to be here today.
All right, cool, man.
I'm Jordan Curls. I'm the intern here. Hello.
Hello. Yeah. Hey, so my name is Dwayne Dixon. I'm a rental coordinator for the Fair Chance Project, working with the formerly incarcerated men, women, and youth. Also, lead organizer for the old school versus new school basketball mentor program. We call them the OVN Classics.
Yeah. Y'all remember him from earlier this year. We was at the Staples Center, our second year doing that event with them. So let's talk about life before we get into sports. For me, there's life in sports, and so there's so much shooting going on, man, in the world. What are your points of view on the latest three? You got the Garlic Fest, and then these last two.
El Paso.
Yeah. So where are you at with that, man? When you see these,
for our country right now, we're kind of like in a state of just we're just all over the place, and just to see this just kind of adds to the stress for everybody. It's already stressful what's going on with the government, and then we got stuff going on right in our backyard. So it's depressing. You don't know. You can go to a Laker game, or you can go to the Strawberry Festival, and you think someone have a gun here, school, church, what's safe nowadays. So it's pretty scary.
Do you think it's the president's responsibility? Like, who would you say is responsible, if anybody, for these?
I think it's the president's job to not spark these ticking time bombs that he calls supporters. Because I saw a political cartoon, and it was basically describing this idea of a match lighting all these ticking time bombs or open flames, and it's just when you think about it. And take a step back, it's really in front of us the white emboldenment, white power emboldenment, just taking over, sweeping through this country because a president like him just enables it. And it's kind of unnerving, really, to say. It's not even just discomforting or just sad. It's unnerving. The fact that we're watching our country literally take 3 giant steps back. Mm-hmm. And this wasn't even a part of my lifetime where I had to be concerned necessarily, to the extent that, you guys or you as well had to. So, I don't even know.
What you got for that?
We spoke on today about elections coming up in 2020. And if we want to see, 2020, 2024, if he's gotten away with so much from 2016, 2020, imagine in his last 4 years what he will exemplify. I mean, he's already proven that, he's a white liberal. If he's incited, what terrorist threat is? When you make statements that creates terror, and you have individuals in the black population getting locked up every day for terrorist threat because they're having arguments with their wives. Now this individual is making all kind of terrorist threats on blogs, and they giving the community to believe that, you know, he support white liberal, you know what I'm saying, or white conservative, you know what I'm saying, and then he would put us back in chain and ball. We'd be back in life, you know what I mean? We back in chain and ball. If an event in the last 4 years he be reelected, we better be aware of what's gonna come.
I mean, do you think that he's just the face for that? Because there's so much. To me, it's a distraction because they're passing all these other laws and bills behind the scenes, but everybody's focused. You know, the media. I say, don't hate the media, become the media, right? So you've got the media they write the news this way, y'all. You have to understand. They write those headlines for your attention grabber. And then when you read the article, it's nothing like the title of that. So you have to understand, if we react to the headlines, you stop right there. You don't get into the depth of the article. And like you said, you've seen a cartoon, but who drew the cartoon? Somebody. No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying. But who drew the cartoon to paint that picture? We could paint that picture any kind of way we want to paint it if you controlling those conversations. And that's why I'm saying. For me, it's like I don't have a problem with him, but I think he's a distraction, and it's causing our society to just go crazy amongst each other when they're also passing all these other laws, like they did with the abortion laws and all those kind of things. That bills have been passed that we have no idea that's going to affect us because we've been so focused on Trump that our society is just going to be jacked up.
Trump has came back. I say in the last year, he's been looking liberal. He's been, you know, he's given cash aid benefits, food stamps. You know what I'm saying? For relief. I mean, you know, because he has to get reelected, so he's going to do some things in our favor. You know, he's getting pardons. And if you look at the individuals he getting pardons to, there's nobody that got struck out under California's 3-strike law who's doing life for simple petty theft, forgery, or fraud, a DUI.
But
he's giving pardons to people with deep
how
pockets.
Can these individuals that's doing these? I talked about it earlier on social media. The families, the parents. If those young men hung out with their grandparents and their uncles, and that was the conversation about whatever they dislike in society or in the world, and that little guy digests that stuff, and he's the one out of the bunch to go act out. I mean, again, I think if our families policed our own families, some of this stuff wouldn't take place. And I flip that on the black community as well. Again, my dad taught me, if the police come up and they're not talking to you, you get out of there. You got no business around there. That's what he taught me when I was little. But now we got cell phones. We want to videotape and we want to be all up in the mix. When it's not, if it has nothing to do with you, get out of there. But I say, as a parent, our parents need to facilitate and police our children up and teach them, because it's to me, it's out of control, and it starts in the family.
It's hard to do.
To address what you said about Trump being a distraction, I don't even think that he has the comfort of being just a distraction at this point. Because I think that someone who sees what's been going on, you know, this past week with all the shootings, and his first reaction is to say, all right, well, that's why we need to bust down on building this wall and make sure that people are no longer invading this country. And that's his first reaction, when the group that was targeted was the same group of people that he's been scapegoating since he's been in office, even before he was in office. So it's just kind of like, I'm not even going to say that he's a distraction, because, like, it's his job to stop hatred like this. It's his job to, like, go out and give talks after things like this and be like, okay, like, we're going to make, you know, sanctions that are going to counteract things like this in the future.
But that's, like, not his conversation. I served in the military. I served in the military, and to relate to that, when I got a new commander, we would be talking about subject A for 3 years. The new commander comes in, now we're talking about subject B. What happened to the stuff we was doing in subject A? Whoever's in charge, they have what their agenda is.
True.
And so let him have his agenda, but what is our community going to do about our agenda? How come we can't be responsible for what goes on around here?
Like, what do you mean?
Again, if our families and the community stood together and we educated our youth and we took responsibility for our own actions, then regardless of what Trump does or who's ever in office, the community should be able to be responsible for what's going on in our area. Instead of saying, oh, okay, well, that's happening because Trump. These shootings is because Trump is over here talking about what he's talking about. I don't think those dots are connected.
Who's the key figure in the news right now?
But that's media, though.
I feel like it's
so much notoriety. But now, within our families, within our community, you know how many peace builders is out here building peace amongst our community? How many OGs is raising other people's sons?
But they don't get the platform.
The parent don't have the liberty or the right to do so.
Who controls the media, though? We're not talking about. We're talking about world news. We talking about who controls that. We don't control that in our community.
He can condone the media's news if it's real or fake. He can condone it, or he can encourage it and motivate it more. So he's been pumping him. He want to be on the media all the time.
Don't he own like a percentage of stock or some kind of share in some of these news broadcasts? So that definitely makes a difference, where I believe that a lot of stuff that we see is biased. Yeah. So especially like what we see on the internet and Facebook, that's why I really encourage all my friends, just people in general, to look at your references. Like
exactly.
You're looking at Trump did this, that, and the third, and you look at the references and some bogus article or
that's
something
why I said
like that.
The titles
and
are
spreads,
written.
And then
rumors.
The titles are written to grab your attention. And then, again, we're so reactive to everything. As soon as you read it, it's like, oh, my God. I mean, I remember when my family, before Trump got elected, all the stuff he was talking about doing, that our Thanksgiving dinner was crazy because they was all panicking about what if he... I'm like, why y'all worried about what he's talking about? He ain't even in office yet, and y'all already on panic zone. It's like, I think that's on us as a society, man. Our mindset, we were so cynical and we're so not responsible for our own actions that we're easy to just say, oh, okay,
point the finger.
It's over there, when how many of you guys are out here actually in the streets that don't get that level of recognition for communities to see that, oh man, yeah, Trump is doing this, but what are y'all, oh man, they doing this over here.
He's in the position of power to prevent it.
He's a face.
I'm not saying
he's only a face for that.
I understand, but in the message that you're saying that we get from the media is the same message that he could be spewing out to people that believe.
That's not his agenda, though. That's not. He ain't gonna do that.
I'm not saying like, oh yes, what Fox is saying, he will say. What CNN says, he says. But I'm saying like what he's spewing out, people are believing in the same way that we believe the media. So it's his job to be stopping things or like put controls on guns in general so that things like this don't continue to persist. And the fact that we turned a blind eye after a school of children was shot up.
Like I said,
a heyday on some kindergartners, and we did nothing.
But those dots are not connected. The shootings in Trump, to me, are not connected dots.
A major situation like Sandy Hook, for us to turn a blind eye after that, says something.
Because what does it say?
Why would we change?
What does it say then? What does it say?
I'm getting there.
Okay.
Because why would we change after things like gay clubs are shot up and the president doesn't even believe in gay rights necessarily, or things like they go to El Paso to shoot up a Walmart where there's going to be mainly immigrants in there, but that's aligned with his agenda, which is take out the threat, take out the invaders. We don't want them here. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a little more connected than I feel like we're giving it credit for.
Anything else?
Key point.
I mean, I think like the whole grand scheme of things, I believe knowledge is power. You know what I mean? The more that we know, the more that we can kind of, equip ourselves when, we're faced with things like this. But as far as the shootings, I mean, I see where you're coming from. And I see where you're coming from. That's why I'm like, I'm right down the middle with you guys because, Trump, I mean, let's say Trump did say something that that gave attention towards those shootings, would the media even cover it? Because that's against what Trump stands for. You know what I mean? It's probably things that or initiatives that Trump has that's for us, but the media is not going to cover that just because it's Trump. We get more eyes, we get more, we drum up more, media coverage if we have him saying this bogus stuff or whatever the situation may be.
And I'm in TV broadcasting school right now, and I could take what you say and edit it up so quick and then make you like you just said some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
just that quick. And that's why I say you just can't trust when you see those headlines and those conversations.
So the
Also,
blogs,
they
is
will-
not, the blogs are edited. His
Bro,
blogs.
Oh, big time.
Bro, you think
Everything
they
is-
write? You
everything is
think
edited. That's why I don't even take half the news with like.
You gotta take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, I'm just
When
like
you-
I don't.
When he come out publicly and say, "I didn't say that," I didn't type that blog. That's
He
not
does
me.
that all the time.
That's what he does.
Nobody believes
That's
him.
what I was about to say.
that's what he does?
Fall back on the thing he said.
He comes out and says that's fake news, but nobody's like, well, how you saying this fake news when
You said it.
right?
Then
so
they flip that, and then it's just
that's what I
a
say.
snowball.
So the shootings, it's unfortunate that this is happening in our society, and to me, it's not connected to the president of the United States. That has to deal with that family where those children came from and what their belief system. They were taught that. They believe that, and they was taught
Definitely.
that from somewhere, and it had nothing to do with President Trump. It might be the belief system. They might have the related belief systems of that white supremacy or whatever that stuff might be, but those guys, nah, that's from that family environment.
Something
I
has
They
to
just
be
feel
heard
done.
like-
that conversation from somebody.
If it was just a little bit harder to access a gun, or maybe if there were more background checks that were required, then we would have noticed that there were several complaints about the fact that he was violent towards women and other students all throughout his schooling. And that, like, maybe that the fact that he was kicked out of school for harassing a woman that denied him, then that would be reason enough. Maybe we shouldn't give him a gun. So I just feel like it is just more connected. Like, if he wouldn't have had it in the first place, then he couldn't have killed all those people. I'm not saying his thought process would be any different. He's gonna be racist till he dies. You know what I'm saying? He's probably just. I think that someone that far gone that is willing to take out a whole group of people.
Do you gentlemen really
They're gonna
believe
be
that
like
we could
that.
control the guns?
I was just.
Do you
I was just
really
about to butt
like?
in
I
on that.
really believe that we could control guns.
Now I was going to butt in on that
Realistic.
one because they can get guns anywhere.
Realistic.
I mean, just like out here, they may not. And all these guns are registered. So he can go to his boy that's selling them from the trunk of his car. Here's $40, or however much these guns are, and just.
That's why I say
unfortunately.
I think the focus is not on the guns. You take the guns away, we're gonna be trying to ban knives. You're gonna be trying to ban golf clubs,
They've
mini
done so
Louis
many gun
sluggers.
buyback programs in the black community, man. It's pathetic. If you go to a militia state, do you think they're selling back their guns?
Of course
Do
not.
you know how many arms they are stacking up on right now? And I know some people that are stacking up on arms, and they're Caucasian. And there's no limits on how many arms that they can purchase
'Cause they're
got
afraid.
a boatload, but they are afraid,
They're
and that's
afraid.
it. And they buying up the blacks, with the buyback program, getting $100 for turning in a gun. Da, da, da. You got senior citizens, older people that's selling their guns off, belonged to their fathers at one time. He rest in peace. So they just like giving the guns up, and so they buying up. And guess where the guns end up back on the street? Back on the street. So how they end up back on the street?
All right, so again, I just wanted to touch on some real life
Wow.
subject
Correct,
before we
all
get
of
into.
it.
Not that the
Yes.
sports is not real life. We know that that's entertainment, but I just wanted to touch on some of this because for me, again, I think if we took responsibility for our own households and our community, then regardless of what's going on outside in the world, like I said, I don't when stuff like police action goes around, I'm out of there because I was taught that from a young guy. I don't grab my cell phone and be filming and see what's going on so I can get some footage. I was taught, get out of there. So I think if we have that kind of education instilled back into our youth and taught how to, manage life, I think that some of this stuff would negate. People are going to die when they die, where they die, how they die, and we don't get no say-so. We get opinions about it, but we get no say-so in how, when, where, why people die.
But what do you do after they die? I mean, I have a young lady that lives in my apartment whose son was shot on, Elsa Ganda Van Ness. Victim of violence. I mean, the circumstance that came up, it was like two different organizations or groups that was like one another. Both of them are black. And the young man was a nice young man. He just was caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. He was gunned down. His mother don't know exactly what to do or how to receive that information. His brother really don't. So his brother is a ticking bomb, and we're trying to keep him at bay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got to get him some. You got to get him some services. I mean, that's where the real nonprofit or organizations come in for those kind of services. Those are real life services.
Yeah,
that family's hurting.
Yeah,
and broken.
Yeah,
that's so they need real life services. So I mean, I understand that. That's real life services. Yeah. All right, Fredo, we're gonna take this first quick break here. Gonna come back and talk to Americas and Mr. Dwayne about their experiences this weekend. A little bit about the OVN being in the 3-on-3 basketball and also with Americas in the LABC League jerseys.
Yes, sir.
Hey, now.
Do you wrong like that. Boom. That's my personal right there. Have when you sponsor. All right, so we're going to be right back. This is Sports Selective TV. Hit us up on Instagram, Twitter, at Sports Selective Media. Shout us out. What's the count?
AskElia.com. Media marketing experts here to help you grow your business into the next level and boost your sales. Visit us to learn more. AskElia.com.
Last time that I checked, it was 5 chains on my neck. It was no smut on my rep.
Yeah, so my name is Ken Q. I'm born and raised in Los Angeles, California. I'm an empowerment speaker. I'm a youth advocate, and I'm a host. I do a multitude of different things. Event producer, spoken word artist. Got to plug that as well. So
so it's good to have these organizations that are creating events that are organically to be able to get people to socialize, to communicate, to talk. Where did you get all that mental toughness?
For me, it's been learned throughout trial and error, to be honest. About 2.5, maybe 3 years ago, I made a decision, and I said I don't want to do anything that's not in alignment with my purpose. In order to reach purpose, you have to go through trial. So for me, I just learned to embrace the trial, and for me, my trial, my rock bottom was homelessness. So that gave me a whole nother level of mental toughness.
Streets voice out west, legendary self-made progress. Last time that I checked.
The Consortium of Health and Military Performance, also known as CHAMP, of the Uniformed Services University of Health and Science, known as USUHS, is conducting a study to understand a possible genetic link between sickle cell trait, known as SCT, and exercise-related events, known as EREs, such as exertional rhabdomyolysis, muscle damage, heat stroke, and or collapse. We are inviting African American men and women with sickle cell trait and their family members to participate. Participating in the study will require you to complete a health history questionnaire, a form authorizing our study physician to gather health information from you and your healthcare provider, as well as a one-time blood donation. In order to qualify for the study, you must meet the following criteria: be African American, be sickle cell trait positive, be able to read, speak, and understand English, be between the ages of 18 and 80, and currently not being treated for any mental or psychological disorders. Participation is completely voluntary, and your decision will not impact your healthcare. The results for this study are for research purposes only and are not intended to directly benefit any individual for confidentiality reasons. However, the results of this study are intended to help better shape policies and associated health risks affecting the SCT community. Participants may be compensated for their time. To join the study, or if you would like additional information regarding the study, please contact the study team by phone, area code 240-479-9514, or email sctt-ggg@usuhs.edu.
All right, welcome back to Sports Selective TV. Shout us out. What's the count? This is, I'm Ferran Dozier, aka WDC. If you want information about sickle cell trait, please go to WDCO&SCT.org. If you're a trait carrier, please participate in that case study. We were trying to figure out why these athletes and military personnel like myself have been collapsing, and some have died from sickle cell trait exertion. So I've been a part of that. I did my blood work and all that. So please, if you have a trait, sickle cell trait, please participate in that. All right, so Americas, man, let's start with you, man. Leading up to the NBA, the Nike 3-on-3, man. What's your mindset like, man?
My mindset, because I've been doing this for 5 years with the whole 3-on-3, and my biggest goal was to have as many teams with LABC jerseys as possible. So, when I reached out to you guys and, a couple other sponsors, they were able to make that dream come true for me. So, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So, how many you have this year?
In total, we had 8 teams.
Yeah.
So next time, I'm hoping to double that. Cause I just want to have it to be like a LABC takeover. So, but it was cool. It was it was really enjoyable, and I'm happy I had the opportunity to do it.
Now, how many teams you play on this year?
I played on 2. I was gonna play on 3, but I was like, you know what? I'm getting older. You know what I mean? I can't.
How many was on last year? You was on like 3 last year. Or
I was on 3 last year.
Yeah. So this year 2.
This year 2.
Yeah.
We competed.
Yeah.
Dwayne. They handled business, so they took us out early. But it was cool. It was fun though. It was a lot of family was there, so it was enjoyable.
So what he's saying is during the tournament, the LABC League actually met up with the OVN Classic team. Mm-hmm. As you can see, they're both here. And the LABC team took the L.
I like how you put it.
I'm trying to be. I'm on your side, man. They took the L. I mean, it was. What was your views of the game?
It was a good game. I mean, like we can't blame anybody else that they outplayed us. It was a good game. That's all I can say. Usually you can point the finger. Oh, he did this. He did that. Blame the officials, but it was a good game. It was straight fun. It was straight up.
All right.
Yeah. So some of my OVN teams that I organized was the adult league, and then they had the youth league for United Communities in Progress, and then we had of course the P4E. We had the old school team, and then we had the P4E team. They was elite teams on the ground. So I'm running back and forth up and down the court upstairs to make sure everybody was signing in on time and using the correct, identity. And it was so funny because the first game we played on Saturday, we lost. Your old school team lost. I mean, the OVN team lost. But after that, I said, man, teamwork makes the dream work. I mean, you can't be complaining about that, and he did that, and he did that. I said, man, just overlook that. And then Nate came out, the tall guy. And unfortunately, Nate had to go back in because his ankle monitor broke. And they was talking about sending LAPD on there immediately to come pick him up. So we Ubered him back to the program. They wouldn't let him back out. So we got, me and Cam and Money and Brandon, And so that game, I said, man, they finna play LBC. And then I said, no, they're not, because I got it on video. I said, I think they're playing Hesperia, because Hesperia was there too. I'm thinking they're playing Hesperia team. Then I seen LABC come out on warm-up. I'm like, oh, we playing them, bro. And then I went, what's wrong? What's the video? Where the camera at?
Yeah.
It was a good game. and I think the ref, she said, Dwayne, this is the best game I've witnessed.
Yeah,
best since I've been here. Because y'all was playing hard in the paint.
We was playing hard. I was bruised and all that good stuff.
That's because they had prior games too, and I'm sure that maybe a couple of them players that had played on other teams too, right? Mm-hmm. So therefore, they was kind of like, they little drained.
No excuse.
There's no excuse.
No excuse.
There's not.
Let me ask America. So you had other teams. So what do you want to say about the rest of the team? I know we watched the girls in the championship.
Oh, yeah.
Before we left, that was something we watched. So what do you want to say about your other squads?
As far as the other teams, I'm proud because we had 2 elite teams and we had 1 women's elite team, which they showed out. You know what I mean? So it was their first time actually playing together, and they were incredible.
Yeah.
The 2 other teams, with Wesley, Leon, most of them has been on the show. I believe all of them have actually been on the show. They did well. They didn't get the win, but they definitely represented us to the fullest. Then we had the other team, which was Amos. Amos has been on the show. Ryan Carter, Stefan, and Anthony Hamilton. I'm not sure if he's been on the show yet. He may be coming on soon. Boy can jump out the gym. So it was definitely good. We definitely, I believe we had the hottest jerseys in. So that was,
I actually like the pink jersey was tight. But the pink one is hot though. The pink one is hot.
Yeah, the pink was hot. I had put the order in for those, and I realized, oh man, I got 2 elite teams in there, so I got to have one to differentiate the other one. So that was the original. That's the. We got the sponsors showing up.
Media. Yeah.
So then we had the pink one, which was that was money. So we got a lot of love off that. Got a lot of good connections, and then hopefully we can keep this going in the future.
Yeah.
I would love to see it keep going on, because I think once Money and Brandon them get back to their residence and they, show some of the footage, and some of the guys in there, man, we got some really stronger guys in that. They be hooping inside the program, just couldn't get out because of the monitors or, being closely monitored. As you know, they're supervised probation. They got out early, so they have to wear this monitor. So therefore, they have a... We wanted them to bring the water.
That's what I was about to go. Go ahead, tell that story, because I was tripping like,
bring
what?
The water, because we had water left over from Saturday. Hey, man, Money, grab the water, and carry it across the street to the parking lot. He said, I can't do it. He's not going to do it. He said, and then Ill clown, he said, man, I ain't got but 2 pounds of weed. He said, that's one of the reasons why I'm doing it, but you can have nothing in there. I'm still not going to do it. He said, because I have a monitor on my ankle. If I go anywhere outside the perimeter where I'm supposed to be, it goes off. And LAPD is notified. Next thing you know, they out searching for him and they taking him in.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And that's how closely monitored he is.
Yeah.
And so we got to be really cautious about when we take them out, because I'm thinking they still like somewhat free and like, come on, let's go over here and get something to eat, to the burrito truck right there where we was parked at. And they said, no, he was hungry.
He was serious.
They wouldn't go,
was serious. He was like, no. It's like, I'm not carrying that water.
Yeah.
That's
and
tough.
so the quite a field where they are, it's hundreds of monitored well-beings men that's on ankle patrol. That's why I say the chain of ball.
What did they express to you from their experiences and playing?
I wish next Monday, because I went back and talked to the parole officer, showed him some footage, and he was like, I said, man, look, they went to the finals, bro. I said, man, they was one game away from winning that whole championship. I said, man, you got to let them out, man, for the radio show. He said, it's too late of a notice, man. He said, maybe next Monday. I said, well, we still want to run scrimmage games with some of the other teams, because I think they met quite a few players there. Because some of the players, after that game, when they played y'all, a lot of guys was running over there like, man, who you play with? They was trying to recruit them. My player, what are you doing?
I know we were.
They was trying to recruit my player because they was really playing hard, and they really wanted to prove themselves as winners, man. You know what I'm saying? Because they've been thought of as losers all these years, you know what I mean, being in prison, ex-cons, ex-gang members, everything that. I said, now they coming home to give back to the community, and they was giving back, you know what I mean? I think the Tilly team, the finals was, we played against the Tilly. That would have been our championship ring, man. I mean, we would have got a badge, we wouldn't have got a check, but we still got the T-shirt. Did y'all get the T-shirt?
The bragging rights. They ain't get
nothing. We came back with a story to tell.
What for you running the LABC league? Where are you at now? How many leagues you got going? I know you expanded or something.
As of now, we're opening Canyon Country back up, or Santa Clarita back up, and then we're going to be doing Inglewood, which is going to be at Rogers Park on Saturdays. So
what time Saturdays?
That's going to be 12, 1, and 2.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah. And going back, I wanted to actually mention the team that you guys lost to was actually an LABC team.
Was that?
Yeah. But
they didn't have the uniforms on.
There's a reason why we didn't give them the uniforms, because they're a little volatile sometimes. So we all put the represent the brand, and so
that was a LABC.
Yeah, but we I mean, it's all love, but we just
it's all love.
It's all love. Good win.
Good win.
But yeah, we're definitely expanding, and
so you got Santa Clarita coming back, Inglewood, you got Van Nuys still.
We got North Hollywood, and then
what about downtown?
Downtown's still going on, and I guess 4.
That's like 4.
Let the cat out the bag. Now we're gonna start doing the.
You sure you want to say it?
Oh no, we're good. We're going to start training kids at the Union Rescue Mission on Skid Row.
Come on.
So, we're going to start trying to put together like a little traveling team for the kids to give them something to look forward to, like in some of these tournaments. So,
dope.
So.
That's dope. I hung out with Buddha and Adam and Drewski yesterday as we walked around, and they had the youth out there, I guess, that they work with out there playing. Those 11, 12 moves, like adult moves. I mean, game. I was like, I told Boot, I said, man, we used to have to hop the fence to go play basketball. You really just go out here and play ball like this. You have to hop over the fence at elementary school to play.
I seen quite a few teams with pink sheets. I had a green sheet because we went next to the final. I mean, to the championship. The pink team, with the pink sheets was those that won the championship, and they had the badges. And it was like I'm like, y'all won. Yeah, man. I'm like, man, how old are you?
That's
got
to be exciting.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
got to be exciting.
Did you guys catch any of the games?
I watched it with Buddha. I watched a couple games.
Those games were more intense than any adult games. I went to go watch my nephew, and I'm like, man, I could feel the tension. Like these are like 8-year-old kids.
Right.
Like, but it's just rewarding seeing them, them get that little piece of the pie and compete. So
what's your vision for the youth? Is that
I mean, essentially, I want to start like a traveling team. It's going to be called the LABC Wonders, and that's just going to be, like I said, that's just straight, homeless, the kids from the homeless shelter. So just give them an outlet, because right now, like there's nothing for them to do. They're on Skid Row. Yeah, it's dangerous out there, so there's no real outlet for them to play. So if I go there and coach and give them something to look forward to, I think it'd be something.
Wow,
it'll be everything.
That's dope.
I want to shout out to those that's building gymnasiums, like at the LA Lakers and the LA Clippers gymnasiums over on 76th and Central, on Union and 11th Street, and open them gyms up opportunities like what Americas is doing right now. What I'm doing right now, the reason why I developed old school versus new school is because I was having what you call Welcome Home LA resource fairs. And so the resource fair was given different provisions to those that's coming home from prison, like clothing, a bus pass, a hygiene kit, a hot catered meal we provide to them. For some of them, this is their first home cooked meal. So we made sure we had a hot home cooked meal there for the resource fair. Then we had a little entertainment. I'm like, man, we got to keep them involved in something. Yeah. And that's how we came first. We came with the handy person program. We go out and volunteer in the community, doing minor cleanups and repairs on senior citizens and low-income and disabled people homes, right? And so I said, man, just feel how I feel once you go do a good deed, how it feels. And neighbors were saying, how much you charge? And they said, nothing. We did it voluntarily. Well, can you come do mine? And we had city council members trying to call us to just set up for Winter Wonderland and Christmas in July, Highly Metro, current price. And, we went and set up the decorations and everything. These are ex-cons, right? And so I say, then we start thinking about the youth that I was dealing with at YJC, Chucos, the ones that got forced out of public school now in continuation. So I say, man, we need to kind of like bridge that gap in the generations with our communication. We have no communication. When they talking Ebonics, are they using initials to text and and then here I am trying to read the text, like, what the hell are you saying?
Yeah,
bro? You know what I'm saying?
Just that
so show me what you, because we learning from each other though. I'm learning how to text with initials, right? And he's learning old school values, right? Teaching new school kids old school values. I said, when you cross that threshold, whatever relationship you with in the streets, and if it's mother or father, it's different. But you're talking about your allies, as far as your peers, in if they're gang related or whatever, you get it out in the streets. Bro. When you come up in here, this is family. This
family and business.
And so the lifers start talking to the youth, and we built the old school versus new school. And 2016, we played on the court at the Staples Center first, right? We rented the court. And we played, and we did like maybe 4 more court time events. Then we did just the season opener for the Sparks this year. We did.
Let me ask Jordan, what do you hear when you hear these guys talk about, what they're up to as far as the youth and a little bit younger than your demographic, but what do you hear as far as?
I just realize kind of the importance of providing outlets for young kids, old kids, anybody really. Everyone needs an outlet just to take them out of their everyday headspace. And it kind of just makes me think of my dad, because my dad started his own little league, Fast Break Basketball, and he had a couple teams. And he was the coach for my brother's team, pretty much every team that my brother was on for travel ball. And I would always come for the tournaments and stuff, the ones out of town, like Vegas. I was always at Vegas. The ones up in Oakland, all that stuff. I would always go to tournaments and stuff. And it was just super cool to just see the kids that would be in my house, because like once again my dad's like the coach, so like they would always come over, they would sleep over most times before the tournaments. It was cool to see the kids, you know, that are super loud and all making all this noise, funking up the whole house, you know. They go from the night before, and then I see them transform on the court, and I'm just like, dang, that's crazy. And that honestly was like what made me want to get into sports so much as well, because I was like I love this. I love the fact that they can get buck with it, but it not be like in a bad way. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, wow, like, I don't know. Just like outlets are really important. That's why I was saying like it's probably everything to them, because like now they have practice every day. Like I have something to look forward to. I have a tournament to play, and people are gonna watch me play, do something. You know, so
all right, that's
I
cool.
love it.
Hey Fredo, did you put those pictures up? I didn't even see any pictures flashed. I've been looking at the monitor. Let's look at some of those photos real quick so we can let Americans describe what was going on in these these flashy moments at the.
Okay, that's Anthony Hamilton. That's Tiana Campbell. That's the girls.
I know.
With the water.
Is that the pink jersey? Because that is kind of
the pink jersey. Yeah.
That is.
That's one of the elite teams.
Oh, I recognize number 11. Okay.
That's West.
That's West. Yeah, West been here. Yeah.
Yeah, West. They went pretty hard. That's the other team. Santa Clarita.
Okay, stay at that one right there. So let's go back. No, go back to the two. You said Anthony Hamilton and right there. Yeah, stay there. So what's going on there, man?
So Anthony Hamilton, he runs on one of our elite teams. He actually is a track runner at Clemson University.
Whoa.
And he is he's very connected and very popular because the boy jumps out.
Besides his name?
Yeah, besides his name. But he has like 40,000 like followers or something like that. It's something crazy. And you have Tiana Campbell is probably one of the best basketball players I've ever seen in person. Like her shot is just.
Now we watched her on Saturday, right?
Yeah.
And so Ilya coaching on the side, and she was like, "Oh yeah, coach, I'm gonna get these rebounds."
Yeah,
like she was like, baller. She was out there balling, yo.
Yeah, she just came back from India.
To see it.
No kidding.
Yeah, she played overseas in India. She's a professional basketball player. So yeah, very nice, very stand up, respectful. Both of them, utmost respect for both of them. So.
Okay, flip one more. All right, so
these are my buddies right here. These like some.
You
like
played with them last year.
Yeah,
I recognize.
Yeah, so John, that's like my best friend, and that's his brother. That's his little brother. And then CJ, we've been playing together for years. So that's like, that's my boys. That we've been doing. Actually, I started with the 3-on-3 with them. So
that's who you got your your rings with.
That's why I got my rings with. That's
that's why you stay with them.
Yeah, that's what fed the beast. So.
Because I recognize 14, I can't remember his name.
Brian.
Because from your Santa Clarita League, I think.
He ran the scoreboard.
Me and Fredo was traveling up there doing the play-by-play.
Yeah.
A couple years back. All right, one more, Fredo. No, give me another one. All right, right there.
And then you got Big Leon. He actually won a championship in Mexico last year, professionally. You got Wesley. Everyone knows Wesley. Brandon Towns. Yours truly. And you got D-Pat. He was actually the captain of that team. So, shooter lights out. So, I believe he's been on. I believe all these guys have been on the show.
They not the last one. We working on. Oh no, he called in. He was a call in. Yeah, he called in. So they lost to the team that went. Into the ring. Into the main stage.
Yeah, so they took the loss. I wasn't able to watch that game because I wanted to go watch my nephew's game.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, this be the time to something crazy. I didn't want to put it into the universe, but
I filmed it. I filmed. Matter of fact, I filmed like 90% of that game.
Okay, I like to watch that because I'm getting all kind of text messages. One person blaming another person, so I need to.
Oh yeah, I'll let you watch it. The other team. I don't know the dude that had the black shirt. I saw him earlier. He was just sitting in the corner, quiet.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He came out and was hitting shot. He was balling.
Now, here's the deal about this. A lot of people don't know, like, this is actually professional. So a lot of these guys come from different states to compete in this to get FIBA points, which is international credits to play in the Olympics. So whoever won this, the elite actually has a chance to play in the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo. So for the 3-on-3, so this was actually a big deal. So if they would have won, it's a good chance you would have saw them, in the Olympics in 2020.
Flip to the females, Fredo. One more.
Hey, do me a favor. Call 293.
No. Yeah, right there.
Okay, and those are
So
the girls.
I recognize the Black Italian. She's supposed to be a guest on here shortly.
Yeah, you got the Black Italian and the one they call her G. So she's a beast down low. She did very good for us. Black Italian,
They was all balling. I'm telling you, we was excited to watch them play. Yeah, Saturday and on Sunday.
Yeah. Then Keisha Warren, she's actually a doctor. So the one at the very end,
on the right.
On the right, yeah, she's actually a doctor.
She looks familiar.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you see her. She had chin busted.
Yeah, she had knee wrapped up. Yeah, she was getting it in.
She was getting it in, but she loved every bit of it. So
we can hear you over there. Really.
But yeah, it was definitely those girls really made me proud.
Cool
this
deal.
weekend.
All right, Fredo, was that video on there, Fredo, or there was no video, huh? Was that little? No. All right. So let's take a break. We're gonna take a quick break. Again, welcome to Sports Selective TV. Talking about what happened this past weekend at the Nike 3-on-3 downtown LA. You looking forward to what are you looking forward to next?
Well, we're supposed to be having that Taiwan trip coming up, so that's the next thing. But the water run, Project Water Run LA. We're supposed to be passing out waters on Skid Road for the summer, so that's the next project that we're working on now.
All right, cool.
So,
what you got
I'm looking
next?
for. Well, right now, what I'm working for is taking these guys out, man, just like having a relaxing moment. We got tickets for the LA Sparks for Thursday and Sunday and for the next games in the season. But I'm going to try to get them out, take them to the Staples Center, let them sit back and watch how the girls play, and let them just enjoy that. And then I'm also working on trying to get them over to the Big Five. I think Ice Cube was Big Three, excuse me. Big Three is on September 1st. So I took my first squad. I took my first team that was on the court with us at the Staples Center. That was Zion, Miles, and Ink Monster. We call him Ink Monster. He tatted up. But I took them, and we was right front row, and they was like, amazed. We took some sparks with us. They got autographs, and then, they just, they was like, man, I got to stick with you, Winnie, And I was like, it was a good vibe for me. You know what I'm saying? It's like a high for me because I like doing things for other people. What I mean? Yeah, I like doing things for other people, and especially when it's a sensitive impacted individual who's like at risk of going to jail, camp, or prison. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or someone just coming home. After serving. Unfortunately, we have poor representation of attorneys. We have attorneys getting you to plea bargain out. You have different reasons why these individuals are going to prison. They're not all, guilty as sin. You know what I'm saying? They just don't have money for bail. You know what I mean? Or they don't have money to afford to pay for it.
Let me get to Jordan. Jordan, what's up next for you?
Shoot, I have a show tomorrow. I just had to this past weekend. I just shot a music video, but I'm going back to school. I go to Howard HE,
Oh, nice! Yeah. Congratulations.
Yes, I'm going back in 9 days.
9. So you got 9 days left.
9 days to get a whole bunch of whatever out
before you head back.
Leave my mark on LA before I gotta go all the way across the country.
Yes.
All right, cool.
I want to say one thing though, because I got some numbers too. So and then between Brandon and Money and Cam, they got numbers. So we're gonna be calling y'all. We're gonna be calling some of the other team players, and we're trying to organize, and so we can set up some scrimmage games with to keep us active and busy and competitive.
Oh yeah,
we want to compete. Everybody want a second chance, don't y'all?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
Oh yeah, so we need that.
For me, September is Sickle Cell Awareness Month. So for me in my city, Fontana, I made Sickle Cell Trait Awareness Month in August. So I should be getting my proclamation for the 4th year from my mayor in Fontana on the 13th.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I made that Sickle Cell Trait Awareness Month in August, and then the rest of it is Sickle Cell Awareness Month in September. So I got so far 2 speaking engagements for September, one in San Diego. My cousin has sickle cell, so I'll be speaking at his church and a blood drive. I think that's the second weekend. And then I was asked, when I was in Texas last week, I was asked to speak in Savannah, Georgia. So if we work out the flights,
I've seen Farhan. I've seen Farhan is very passionate about with sickle cell, and like I'm passionate about what I do. So I want y'all to know that coming up on August 24th, we have another Welcome Home Resource Fair. I will be doing some more recruiting. The resource fair will take place at Lincoln Memorial Congregational Church, right off of Arlington and King Boulevard. Lincoln Memorial. It's a Welcome Home Resource Fair and Job Fair. We have friendly employers. Can't say it very fast. But coming out to hire some of these cats, you know what I'm saying, for jobs. But we're also doing some more recruiting for players.
Cool.
And so if anybody's out there, you can look on OVN Classic. It's the Facebook page, OVN Classic. You can look on OVN@gmail.com, or you can hit me up on Dwayne Success at yahoo.com. Give me a call, 323-214-5470. I'm at the Business Store Center right at 6109 Southwestern. The Business Store Center right on 6109 Southwestern, between 60th and 62nd on Western.
All right, Fredo, take us out, man. We're going to take this break. LABC right here.
Booyah.
Cali Sportsman, he got one of his.
This segment was sponsored by LABC League. Visit LABCLeague.com for more info and listen to their Selective Games live broadcast on Sports Collective Radio.
The Consortium of Health and Military Performance, also known as CHAMP, of the Uniformed Services University of Health and Science, known as USUHS, is conducting a study to understand a possible genetic link between sickle cell trait, known as SCT, and exercise-related events, known as EREs, such as exertional rhabdomyolysis, muscle damage, heat stroke, and or collapse. We are inviting African American men and women with sickle cell trait and their family members to participate. Participating in the study will require you to complete a health history questionnaire, a form authorizing our study physician to gather health information from you and your healthcare provider, as well as a one-time blood donation. In order to qualify for the study, you must meet the following criteria: be African American, be sickle cell trait positive, be able to read, speak, and understand English, be between the ages of 18 and 80, and currently not being treated for any mental or psychological disorders. Participation is completely voluntary, and your decision will not impact your health care. The results for this study are for research purposes only and are not intended to directly benefit any individual for confidentiality reasons. However, the results of this study are intended to help better shape policies and associated health risks affecting the SCT community. Participants may be compensated for their time. To join the study, or if you would like additional information regarding the study, please contact the study team by phone, area code 240-479-9514, or email sctstudy-ggg@usuhs.edu.
Last time that I checked, it was 5 chains on my neck. It was no smut on my rep.
Yeah, so my name is Ken Q. I'm born and raised in Los Angeles, California. I'm an empowerment speaker. I'm a youth advocate. And I'm a host. I do a multitude of different things. Event producer, spoken word artist. Got to plug that as well. So
so it's good to have these organizations that are creating events that are organically to be able to get people to socialize, to communicate, to talk. Where do you get all that mental toughness?
For me, it's been learned throughout trial and error. To be honest, about 2.5, maybe 3 years ago, I made a decision, and I said I don't want to do anything that's not in alignment with my purpose. In order to reach purpose, you have to go through trial. So for me, I just learned to embrace the trial, and for me, my trial, my rock bottom was homelessness. So that gave me a whole nother level of mental toughness.
Streets, boys out west, legendary self-made progress. Last time that I checked.
All right, welcome back to Sports Collective TV. Your host and moderator, Farhan, aka WDC. All right, so we was supposed to have a Chasing the Hoop Dream segment, but LA freeways, traffic. You say traffic, and the experience is like, I had to transform my views of traffic, man, because you don't want to go anywhere. As soon as you say traffic to anybody, it's like,
forget it.
Yeah, it's just it's horrible.
So I had to really alter that and just, traffic is just a lot of cars on the freeway. People going to wherever they're going for their destination, man, trying to get to their loved ones or work, and
at the same
how
time.
Can you be frustrated at the same time, right? At the same time. So it takes away all that anxiety experience, and again, military wise, you backwards plan, bro. If you got to be somewhere at 2:00 You don't leave at 1:30.
Ooh, no.
You don't leave at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like you backwards planning. You figure out, okay, if I got to at least give myself at least a 90-minute window.
Yeah.
So
even though it's only like 30 minutes away, you still have to prepare for that.
Right. So that takes away your anxiety if you know you left in enough time. But I just can't figure it out. I cannot figure out what causes. I don't think it's all the cars. I think it's
traffic.
Yeah, I think it's the lane changing.
It's the lane changes,
and
it
it just
so much of that.
Then you got construction.
I was fortunate. I was fortunate because I did Uber. They did the MapQuest or whatever on their phones, and you know we even had to stop and pick up a person on their way to Amity Foundation to take Nate with the ankle monitor. And
yeah, you must have did Uber Pool.
He detoured. And Nate was like, "Hey, where you going?" You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Nate trying to get back to the program, right? But it was on the way. But he got me there and got me back, you know, in a reasonable amount of time. Because I was looking at the bird. I said, "Ooh." I say, "Nate, what about the bird, man? You ever rode a bird? You know, the scooters?"
Yeah.
I'm really seriously like on, you know, Ken.
No, you got to put your credit card in there. They want all your data. I'm done giving up my data for free.
But I heard those things are like people got seriously hurt on some of those things.
Oh yeah, there was a female Instagram what do you call them? Influencer.
That's what they call them now.
Died.
What?
From what? Yes.
How?
Busted her head.
What?
Off one of them electric scooters.
I didn't know it was fatal.
Yeah, fatal. No, fatal. She died, yo.
The first day I tried to get a bird to work, scraped up my freaking the back of my ankle. I was furious.
Is it really that like?
It was cause like I was trying to start moving it and like it didn't get my card correctly, so I was trying to go and I was like, what the heck? So I swung me right in the back.
Oh, so that was your back. Okay, I'm thinking it's like.
I was like, wait, this hurts way more than the hold on. I was bleeding in the middle of Santa Monica upset. But, you know, ride them safely. Wear the helmets, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds bizarre.
And so I think somebody, whoever owns the one out there by, I think it's Santa Monica, they gotta go. They gotta go. They tired of them.
What do you mean?
They
the residents?
They give them like a couple of months.
Oh,
to pick
I
them
knew
all
it was
up
only a matter of time. Because I was like, first of all, if I'm afraid to ride in traffic, I know not everyone that rides these birds feels that way.
Yeah.
And I see people on the birds, I'm just like, yo, my man's like,
oh yeah, they're dipping, like
you know,
rolling.
You just said F it, like no cares, like your car or even a motorcycle. But
I had a vision that I'm taking this guy back because you know LAPD is on the way. You know what I'm saying? And me and him get a bird, and we on the bird. You know what I'm saying? With the LAPD behind us. You know what I'm saying? And we trying to make it to the program so they can at least save space for him, and we run in front of the police. You know
on the bird.
Yeah, that's
you ain't going that fast, yo.
How fast those things go?
Like 40?
Yeah.
40?
Max.
Yeah.
Max.
And
I mean, that's still a lot
for something that you can just do like that on real quick.
Residential 35.
Yeah, so they got banned from some cities. Some cities banned them, and they gave them like a fine, and they got like so many. I think like a month or 2 months to get on. I think it was Santa Monica.
Well, that's where it's most popular.
It was only a matter of time. It kept growing and growing. I was like, this isn't something that's gonna fly. Like, because it was like, if one company gets famous off this, there's going to be so many alternative companies that do it.
The bikes came out. You can just ride a bike
Next. What is it?
Uber
has them now. Yeah, and they got the bikes.
The
bikes, I get it. Those are great. Those are very convenient. But the birds, they just
park and they just throw them on the ground.
Yeah, like, all right, we
here. It stopped.
Ran out of money.
I'm not giving up my information to ride a bird.
I would always think that somebody with Jimmy, though. I mean, maybe they're connected somebody, but like Jimmy, just to kind of make it to where
they got low jacks on it, bro.
Yeah, or take the navigation out.
That's why I was like, so they're not over here. Like I only see them in the beach area.
They
like,
track.
Why they never come over here? But they did.
No, they right over here on Crenshaw. It was running on Crenshaw. Yeah,
dude was riding right by the Fox Hills Mall on Slauson, just casually with conviction. I said, sir, you're not a car. What?
In the middle of the street
with flip flops. What if you fall? Like your toes.
That's the last thing he's thinking about.
What's your views on the NBA, man? So much.
I think all this, I'm a Clipper man. Okay. So, I got a shot to Clip City. I think it'll bring fun back to the NBA. So we'll see.
I think this year is going to be exciting.
Yeah.
I don't even watch the NBA like that for real. I'm going on record saying that on a sports show.
But,
yes. However,
the
fact that they diversified teams, because I didn't like the fact that they were building super teams, because I was like, this is like, what? This is clearly just like whoever has the most money, like they're going to get the best teams. But now that they've switched it up, made it more like the original NBA when I used to watch when I was younger, I'm back. Shoot, why not?
You back?
Like,
You back?
I'm about to like, why not? You know,
2019,
I'm gonna
20
do the
season.
shout out. I'm gonna do a shout out my boy Nick from VBL.
Oh yeah,
Nick from basketball, the 3-on-8 Nike tournament, and it's another brain. It's another individual. It's not coming to my mind, but Don P for E. You know what I'm saying, for sending out that little team. Man. Yeah, you came out on Sunday, and but. It's all good though, man, because they played. They played. Yeah. I said on Saturday they ran. You know what I mean? On Sunday, that was the crucial time.
Gentlemen, thank you. Ladies, thank you for being here. Shouts out to Morse Media, Fredo out there, Cali Sportsman out there in the base. Hit up his website, Instagram, Ask Ilya, Sports Collective Media on Instagram, WDC Radio on Instagram. I'm coming up next. Shout us out. What's the count?